It was a typical day for Ryan, a hard-working man who had just returned home from work, eager to spend the evening with his loving wife, Emma. They had a quiet dinner together, discussing their day and making plans for the upcoming weekend. After dinner, they settled on the couch to watch their favorite show, a weekly ritual they both looked forward to. As the night wore on, they decided it was time for bed. Ryan and Emma climbed under the covers, embracing each other as they had done countless times before. However, something was different that night. Emma stared into Ryan's eyes, her expression a mix of hurt and anger. "Tell me the truth," she demanded. "Are you cheating on me?" Ryan's heart raced. He had no idea where this was coming from. "What are you talking about? Of course not, Emma. I would never do that to you." Emma's expression did not soften. She pulled out a pair of lacy panties that Ryan had never seen before. "Then how do you explain these?" Ryan felt his world collapsing around him. He couldn't tell her the truth. The truth was that he had been unfaithful, but only once, and he swore to himself it would never happen again. But he couldn't let her know. In that moment, a lie was born. I bought those for you," he stammered. "I wanted to surprise you with a gift. I'm sorry if it made you feel insecure." Emma hesitated for a moment but seemed to believe him. Her relief was palpable, and she hugged Ryan tightly. "I'm sorry I doubted you," she whispered. "I love you." "I love you too," Ryan replied, his heart heavy with guilt. The couple drifted off to sleep, their hearts intertwined. But as they slept, something sinister began to take root. The lies that Ryan had spoken had poisoned Emma's heart, causing a darkness to grow within her. The next morning, Ryan awoke to find the other side of the bed empty. He called out to Emma, but there was no response. A sense of dread washed over him as he stood up and began to search the house for his wife. "Emma," he called, his voice echoing through the empty rooms. "Where are you?" As he entered the kitchen, he found her. Her back was turned to him, her body unnaturally rigid. "Emma, are you okay?" he asked, his voice trembling with fear. Slowly, she turned to face him. Her once beautiful features were now twisted and grotesque, her eyes sunken and lifeless. Emma had transformed into a monstrous creature, a zombie. A guttural growl escaped her lips as she lunged at Ryan. He barely managed to dodge her, stumbling backward and crashing into the dining table. His heart pounded in his chest as he realized the horrible truth. His lies had turned his wife into this abomination. "Emma, please, I'm so sorry," he pleaded, tears streaming down his face. But the creature that was once his wife showed no recognition or mercy. Ryan knew what he had to do. He had to find a way to reverse the transformation and save his wife. Frantically, he searched through books and scoured the internet, looking for answers. He spent days researching, barely eating or sleeping. Finally, he stumbled upon an ancient tome that held the key to his salvation, a ritual that could purge the darkness from Emma's heart and restore her humanity. The ritual required a confession of his sins, a sacrificial offering, and the recitation of an ancient chant. Ryan knew the risks involved, but he had no choice. He had to save Emma. He had to right the wrongs he had committed. Ryan prepared everything for the ritual, his hands trembling with fear and anticipation. He wrote a heartfelt confession of his infidelity, detailing his regret and guilt. As for the sacrificial offering, he knew it had to be something of great personal significance. He chose his wedding ring, a symbol of the love and commitment he had betrayed. With everything in place, Ryan lured the zombie that was once his wife into the room he had prepared. Chains rattled as he secured her to the floor, ensuring she couldn't harm him during the ritual. He could barely stand to look at her, the monster his lies had created. Taking a deep breath, Ryan began the ritual. He read his confession aloud, his voice choked with emotion. As he placed his wedding ring into the ceremonial fire, the flames flickered and danced, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Finally, he recited the ancient chant, the strange words resonating through the room. At first, nothing seemed to happen. But then, a strange, dark energy began to emanate from Emma's body. It swirled around her like a vortex, gradually growing weaker as the ritual progressed. Ryan's heart pounded in his chest as he continued to chant, desperate for the ritual to work. As the last word left his lips, the dark energy dissipated completely. Emma collapsed to the floor, her body convulsing. Ryan rushed to her side, fear and hope battling in his chest. Slowly, her features began to change. The grotesque transformation reversed itself, and Emma's once zombie body regained its human form. Emma's eyes fluttered open, her once dead gaze now full of life. She looked up at Ryan, confusion etched on her face. What happened?" she whispered. Ryan couldn't contain his relief. The ritual had worked. He had saved his wife. But he knew that their relationship could never be the same. His lies had nearly destroyed them both, and the truth had to be faced. "I lied to you, Emma," he admitted, tears streaming down his face. "I was unfaithful, and my lies poisoned your heart. It turned you into that. I'm so sorry." Emma's eyes filled with tears, but she didn't turn away. Instead, she reached out to touch Ryan's face. "Thank you for saving me," she whispered. "We'll get through this. Together." Ryan knew that the road ahead would be difficult. Trust had been shattered, and rebuilding it would take time and effort from both of them. But as they embraced, a newfound determination filled their hearts. They had survived the darkness, and now they would face the future together, bound by love and truth. The lies that had once poisoned their hearts had been purged, and they were determined to never let them take root again. For they had learned that deceit could fester and grow, giving rise to the most sinister of infections. When you subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell. Click here for more true scary stories.